Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Hearts Unlocked. I'm your host, Veronica, and today we are diving into a topic that has captivated human imagination for centuries. And it's vampires! Are they real or just a myth? Let's sink our teeth into this interesting discussion. Stay tuned! Vampires have been a fixture in folklore, literature, and pop culture for ages. From Dracula to Vampire Diaries. I'm pretty sure you guys have watched this series. I mean, if you're not a fan, at least you would have heard about this series. I'm a huge fan for fictional characters. How many of you have watched Vampire Diaries and wished for a boyfriend like Damon Salvatore? Or maybe Klaus Michelson? Maybe Kai Parker? Okay, tell me about it. But I'm a huge vampire fan, so I'm a team Damon Salvatore. These creatures of the night have left a lasting mark on our collective consciousness. But the question still remains, do vampires truly exist? Or are they just fantastical creatures born from human imagination? To unravel this mystery, let's first dive into the historical origins of vampire legends. An ancient civilization like the Greeks and the Romans had tales of blood-drinking demons and restless spirits. Ooh, okay. The word vampire itself comes from various languages, each with its own interpretation. These myths often emerged as an explanation for unexplained death or diseases. Have you guys have seen any movies or series wherein the doctor is unable to explain or unable to resolve the mystery of what is causing the issue in that particular patient? That is where usually the doctor will link it as maybe he or she has been possessed by a ghost, or he or she has been infected by vampire blood as such. I personally have seen a movie, but I'm unable to recollect the name of the particular movie. If you guys know any movies as such, please do comment down below. We shall look into it. I do love these kind of series or these movies mainly. What's fascinating is how the vampire legends vary across cultures. In Eastern Europe, for instance, the infamous Vlad the Impaler was said to have inspired the Dracula legend. In Asia, the Xuanxi, or hopping vampires also known as, has its own unique traits. Yeah, you did heard it right, the hopping vampire. It is believed that Xuanxi are so stiff that they cannot bend their limbs or body. I've seen a movie or series, it's way too young, maybe like 10 years ago or something, wherein the zombies or vampires, they're so stiff that their hands are so straight, they just stretch their hands very straight and they just hop around. These vampires are known as Xuanxis. These differences hint at the way different societies gabble with the unknown and the supernatural. Okay, let us keep the beliefs aside. Let's bring science into the equation. Some experts argue that medical conditions like porphyria, which cause sensitivity to light and skin lesions, might have contributed to vampire myth. Others point to the phenomenon of premature burial, where people are mistakenly pronounced as dead and later found crawling their way out of their graves. Ew, scary. I've seen some movie as such where people just crawl out of their graves, and they just like forget their past. They don't know why did they even end up in their grave. you know Ooh, that's really scary. Okay, as we fast forward to modern era, we encounter a vibrant vampire subculture, from people who identify as real vampires to role-playing communities. There is a fascination that goes beyond myth. Some claim to feed on psychic or emotional energies rather than blood. Ew, is this something like a crossbreed of a witch and a vampire? Okay. Is this an evolution of the legend or a reflection of our desire for the extraordinary? I mean, some even argue that there's no concrete scientific evidence to support the existence of traditional vampires. No immortality, no fangs, no sensitivity to sunlight. The phenomenon might be a mix of psychological factors, cultural influences, and even medical conditions. As we search for answers, the lines between myth and reality still continue to blur. Oh, dear listeners, as we wrap up our discussion today about vampires, we still find ourselves still stuck with the question, are vampires real or simply the products of our imagination? Whether vampires are just mystical creatures meant to scare us in the night or embody our fascination into the unknown, one thing is very certain. They have left a mark on human history and culture. Our hunger for the extraordinary keeps these stories alive, reminding us that the mysteries of the night still have the power to captivate our minds. Thank you so much for joining us today on this extraordinary journey. Remember, whether you're a believer or not, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored. Until next time, stay curious. Bye bye. Ta ta. Adios.